Everything begins in the imagination. What you accept inwardly, what you consent to as true in the silence of your soul, must show itself in the theater of your world. There is no other way. You are not here to wait for things to change. You are here to assume the change already happened. So I tell you now, walk through life as if everything always works out for you. Not because you see evidence of it today, not because others agree, but because you know in the deep stillness of your being that what you imagine and persist in imagining must become your reality. Live from the end. Feel the joy before the facts justify it. Speak as one who already possesses. Move as one who already knows. Do not concern yourself with how or when. Those are not your business. Your only task is to accept the wish fulfilled as your present truth. When you feel the reality of your desire so fully, so vividly, that it eclipses the current facts, then you have planted the seed in the only soil that matters. You are not trying to make things happen. You are not chasing. You are choosing. You are assuming. And the world, though it may resist for a moment, will conform. It has no choice. It mirrors the state you occupy. If you dwell in lack, the world reflects lack. If you dwell in peace, peace surrounds you. If you dwell in the certainty that all things are always working out in your favor, then even the chaos will become the path to your good. You do not need permission. You do not need proof. You only need to dare to claim that what you desire is already yours. Can you persist in that knowing, even when appearances contradict it? That is the measure of faith. That is the creative act. Assume the best, and the best must come. Assume harmony, and watch even the broken pieces rearrange themselves to fit the story you are living from. You are not hoping, you are knowing. You are not pleading, you are selecting. This is not arrogance, it is alignment. You are aligning with the truth that your inner world is first cause. Everything you experience begins as a feeling, as a belief, as a decision made in silence. Choose wisely, choose boldly, choose as if the universe is already conspiring in your favor, because it is. Feel the reality of your chosen outcome now. Let it fill you, let it thrill you, let it steady you. Because when you act from that place, when you speak, move, rest, and rise from the assumption that everything always works out for you, you step into the law. And the law never fails. Reasoned about confident living principles for 4 seconds. Everything begins in the imagination. What you accept inwardly, what you consent to as true in the silence of your soul, must show itself in the theater of your world. There is no other way. You are not here to wait for things to change. You are here to assume the change already happened. So I tell you now, walk through life as if everything always works out for you. Not because you see evidence of it today, not because others agree, but because you know in the deep stillness of your being that what you imagine and persist in imagining must become your reality. Live from the end. Feel the joy before the facts justify it. Speak as one who already possesses. Move as one who already knows. Do not concern yourself with how or when. Those are not your business. Your only task is to accept the wish fulfilled as your present truth. When you feel the reality of your desire so fully, so vividly, that it eclipses the current facts, then you have planted the seed in the only soil that matters. You are not trying to make things happen. You are not chasing, you are choosing, you are assuming, and the world, though it may resist for a moment, will conform. It has no choice. It mirrors the state you occupy. If you dwell in lack, the world reflects lack. If you dwell in peace, peace surrounds you. If you dwell in the certainty that all things are always working out in your favor, then even the chaos will become the path to your good. You do not need permission, you do not need proof, you only need to dare to claim that what you desire is already yours. Can you persist in that knowing even when appearances contradict it? That is the measure of faith. That is the creative act. Assume the best, and the best must come. Assume harmony, and watch even the broken pieces rearrange themselves to fit the story you are living from. You are not hoping, you are knowing. You are not pleading, you are selecting. This is not arrogance. It is alignment. You are aligning with the truth that your inner world is first cause. Everything you experience begins as a feeling, as a belief, as a decision made in silence. Choose wisely, choose boldly. Choose as if the universe is already conspiring in your favor, because it is. Feel the reality of your chosen outcome now. Let it fill you, let it thrill you, let it steady you. Because when you act from that place, when you speak, move, rest, and rise from the assumption that everything always works out for you, you step into a law that is unyielding, unfathomable, and ever true. Imagine for a moment that you are a sculptor, and your life is the masterpiece waiting to be revealed. The raw material of your existence is infinite in potential, and every thought you conceive is the chisel that shapes the emerging form. With each stroke of your consciousness, you are sculpting not just an external reality, but a vibrational echo that resounds throughout the cosmos. The secret is to carry within you the sense that every element, every particle of the seemingly random occurrences is moving in harmony to bring forth your vision. In this grand theater of life, your inner dialogue and unwavering conviction are the forces that align even the most disparate elements into perfect order. Consider the power of assumption as an act of creation. Every time you assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, you are aligning yourself with that deeper current of truth. It is as if you are opening a channel through which the infinite potential of the universe flows effortlessly into your experience. Let your thoughts be bold and unwavering. In every moment, if a shadow of doubt crosses your mind, gently replace it with the vibrant truth of your assumption. The day-to-day trials and moments of uncertainty are mere transient clouds passing across the vast sky of your consciousness. They do not have the power to obscure the brilliance of your chosen reality when you keep your vision focused. Reflect upon the nature of time itself. It is a construct, a tapestry woven by the interplay of past, present, and future. Yet within the realm of the imagination, time becomes fluid. When you live as if your desires are already realized, you awaken a force that transcends conventional chronology. You begin to perceive the inner and outer worlds as inseparable mirrors of one another. That which exists in the unseen realm finds its way into the seen, effortlessly, surely, and with profound synchronicity. This understanding liberates you from the confines of waiting and reacting, allowing you to engage with life from the confident knowing of an outcome already manifest. Every experience, every circumstance is an echo of your inner world. When you see a reflection of joy, it is not a random event, it is a sign, a confirmation that the seed of your thought has matured. When obstacles appear, they too are but temporary challenges that invite you to refine your vision and bolster your conviction. It is in these moments of apparent difficulty that you are called to see beyond the surface and trust in the deeper workings of life. Embrace these instances, for they are the subtle nudges guiding you back to your creative power. In every trial lies a hidden blessing, an opportunity for growth and a chance to witness the unfolding of your highest vision. When you walk through life with the heart attuned to the vibration of a fulfilled desire, you cultivate a profound sense of peace. This peace is not the absence of movement or change, but the harmonious rhythm that arises when you are one with the law of your creative power. Do not be dismayed by the temporary appearances that seem to stand in opposition to your inner state. Rather, continue to hold steadfast in your assumption, knowing that every moment is as it should be, even if it appears contrary. The universe operates in mysterious ways, often revealing its genius in the minutest details that, when viewed from the perspective of faith, become unmistakable signs of a plan already set in motion. The art of living as if everything always works out for you also means embracing the unknown with a spirit of adventure. Step boldly into the realm of infinite possibility, for it is there that the miraculous resides. When you let go of the need to control every outcome and instead trust in the natural unfolding of your desires, you tap into a reservoir of creativity and resourcefulness that surpasses all logic. Every encounter, every seeming coincidence is a brushstroke in the masterpiece of your life. Your role is not to micromanage each detail, but to keep the vision vibrant and your inner state resolute. Within you lies a power that transcends the ordinary, the power to convert the imagined into reality, the belief into manifestation. Let your mind be your sanctuary, where dreams are nurtured, and your heart the fertile ground from which they bloom. In this inner space, every imagined experience carries the weight of actuality. Every whispered wish holds the promise of fulfillment. When doubts intrude, remind yourself that the certainty of your inner conviction is the guiding light that transforms potential into perfection. Your life is a reflection of the depth of your thoughts, and by choosing thoughts of abundance, positivity, and love, you create a reality that mirrors these qualities. It is important to recognize that every moment is an invitation to choose the state of awareness that aligns with your highest good. You might encounter situations that test your resolve, moments when the tangible evidence appears to contradict the reality you have firmly planted within. It is precisely in those instances that you must hold fast to the power of your assumption. Reaffirm your inner truth with deliberate and thoughtful repetition. Just as a musician tunes an instrument, make it a habit to tune your thoughts to the melody of your desired outcome. Every affirmation, every mental rehearsal is a step that brings you closer to the ultimate expression of your inner vision. Allow your life to be a continuous demonstration of faith in the unseen. Every action you take should be imbued with the confidence that your desires are already fulfilled. This is not a mere escapism, but rather a profound understanding that life is a process of eternal fulfillment, where every moment is an opportunity to experience the joy of creation. As you navigate the twists and turns of existence, carry with you an unwavering trust in the inherent benevolence of life. You are the artist of your fate, and the palette from which you choose the colors of your existence is limitless. In every moment, know that you are co-creating with a universal force that delights in the blossoming of your dreams. Cast aside the notion that external circumstances dictate your state of being. Instead, realize that your inner state is the true architect of your reality. Each time you declare internally that everything works out perfectly, you are not simply uttering words, you are engaging in a sacred practice that shapes the fabric of your experience. Let that declaration resonate within your mind and soul until it becomes an inseparable part of who you are. In doing so, you invite a force into your life that is both gentle and inexorable, capable of transforming the most challenging situations into stepping stones toward your realization. Imagine standing at the edge of a vast ocean, each wave a representation of an infinite possibility. With every pulse of the tide, there is a rhythm to the universe that whispers, everything is coming together in your favor. When you allow yourself to be immersed in that vastness, you begin to understand that the energy of the universe is not scattered or chaotic. It is a deliberate, intelligent force that works through you to manifest your highest desires. With each breath, you can feel the pulse of that creative energy, drawing you ever closer to the state in which your dreams are already fulfilled. All that is required is for you to trust, to believe, and to act from a place of certainty. Embrace this truth wholeheartedly, that the essence of your being is not confined by the limitations of the external world, but rather is a dynamic, ever-evolving expression of the infinite. The power that lies within you is not diminished by circumstances or setbacks. It grows stronger each time you persist in the face of adversity. Every challenge you encounter is not an obstacle, but a gateway, a passage through which you must travel to reach the fuller, richer expression of your true self. In these moments, remember that the journey is as meaningful as the destination, and that every experience contributes to the unfolding of a grander story, one in which you are both the author and the hero. There is a sublime comfort in knowing that the process of life is, at its core, a dialogue between your inner visions and the outer world. When you live with the internal conviction that all is well, you begin to notice that life begins to mirror that conviction in the smallest of ways. A kind word from a stranger, a timely opportunity, an unexpected moment of clarity. These are the subtle manifestations of the law in motion, evidence that the state of your mind is a powerful attractor of the experience you desire. And when you notice these signs, rather than dismissing them as mere coincidences, you learn to read them as the language of a wise and generous universe. In the unfolding of each day, find a moment to recenter yourself. Immerse your thoughts in the blissful awareness that your desires are already realized. In that moment of reflection, all doubts fade away, replaced by the radiant conviction that everything is unfolding perfectly. The consistency of this inner discipline, the daily commitment to hold fast to the vision of fulfillment, is what turns wishful thinking into a tangible reality. Practice it in every moment. A quiet smile, a gentle breath, the subtle shift in your awareness that says, I already have all that I seek. With each such moment, you reinforce the truth that the power to create lies within you, unchallenged by external fluctuations or fleeting emotions. Let the feeling of fulfillment be your constant companion. In moments of solitude or during the bustle of daily life, call to mind the image of your desired state as if it were already yours. Allow that image to fill your senses, to evoke in you the same enthusiasm and gratitude as if you had already received it. This is the secret to living a life of creative abundance, to habitually dwell in the experience of the fulfilled dream, regardless of the current circumstances. The more you reside in this state of inner assurance, the more the world around you begins to align with it, flowing smoothly and naturally toward the expression of your desires. Do not let the whispers of negativity or the clamor of external opinions disturb the peace that arises from within when you hold this truth dear. The voices of skepticism are transient, mere echoes that fade when compared to the overwhelming resonance of your determined belief. Embrace silence as the fertile ground in which your creative thoughts take root. And when the mind begins to wander toward doubt, gently, without resistance, steer it back to the serene vision of a life where all is accomplished, all is understood, and all is in perfect order. The process of aligning with the inner truth is not a one-time act, but a continuous practice. Every day is a new opportunity to reaffirm the belief that all things are working out for you, to nurture that deep inner knowing with every thought, every emotion, and every action. It is in this daily reaffirmation that your life transforms from a series of random events into a coherent narrative, guided by your own intentionality. Over time, this persistent inner conviction blossoms into a way of being, a state of constant, joyful expectancy that colors every experience and infuses your existence with meaning. While you may sometimes encounter the resistance of circumstances that seem to contradict your inner vision, remember that these are but temporary detours. They are lessons, not verdicts. They serve to strengthen your resolve, inviting you to deepen your understanding of how the unseen dynamics of thought and feeling shape your outer reality. Each setback is a gentle reminder that the fabric of life is intricately woven with threads of both challenge and triumph, and that the sum of your experiences is always working together to create something greater than the sum of its parts. Allow gratitude to be the lens through which you view every moment. Gratitude is the acknowledgement that even as you strive toward the realization of your deepest desires, the universe is already showering you with gifts, however subtle they may seem at first. Gratitude magnifies the feeling of abundance and shifts your focus to the countless blessings that are present in every breath, every heartbeat, and every encounter. By giving thanks for what is, you are also affirming that more is always on its way. And in that affirmation lies the foundation of a life lived in the constant state of fulfillment. In your interactions with others, let this state of inner certainty be evident. When you meet another soul, do so from the place of completeness, knowing that no external force can diminish the reality of your fulfilled vision. Your presence will radiate the quiet confidence of one who has already experienced the fullness of life. And as you extend this energy to those around you, you create ripples of inspiration that remind each person that their own creative power is limitless. You become, by your very way of being, a living testament to the law of fulfillment, a beacon that encourages others to trust in the power of their own imagination. As you continue on this journey, allow yourself the freedom to dream boldly, to envision a life where limitations are but illusions, and every desire is met with a corresponding manifestation. The energy that dwells within you is inexhaustible, capable of transforming even the most intricate details of your life into brilliant expressions of your highest potential. Let this truth permeate every level of your consciousness, that the power to create is not something bestowed upon you by external forces, but is an inherent, inalienable aspect of your very being. Every time you choose to operate from the belief that everything is working out for you, you are participating in the grand act of creation, and the creative power of the universe responds in kind. Immerse yourself in the practice of living as if each moment is saturated with the promise of fulfillment. Allow that promise to infuse your thoughts, your words, and your actions. Recognize that the inner world you cultivate is not separate from your outer world. It is the very blueprint upon which your reality is built. With each deliberate act of faith, you draft a new line in the story of your life, a story in which every chapter is written from the ink of unwavering certainty, and every page reflects the beauty of a destiny already embraced. The journey of living in this manner is both subtle and profound. It is an invitation to embrace the mystery of life with the assurance that all is unfolding exactly as it should. And as you surrender to this flow, you will find that the universe itself bends to the rhythm of your intention. There is an elegance in the way that reality rearranges itself to accommodate your inner decrees, a graceful dance between the seen and unseen that always leads back to the essence of your deepest desire. Allow that dance to carry you forward, each step imbued with the confidence that your destiny is not a distant aspiration, but a present and living truth. There is a certain magic that emerges when you live from the conviction that every event, every encounter, and every circumstance is orchestrated in your favor. This magic is not found in external circumstances, but in the profound alignment of your inner state with the universal law of creation. It is a resonance, a frequency that you can tune into at any moment by merely shifting your focus to the certainty of your fulfillment. Each time you do so, you reinforce the bond between your inner vision and the outer world, and you begin to see that miracles are not anomalies. They are the natural outgrowth of a life lived in harmonious alignment with the creative power that resides within. Trust in the steady, unerring flow of life. Even when the path appears winding or obscured by doubts, know that every twist and turn is a vital part of the grand design. There is purpose in every moment, a divine symmetry that ensures that all elements are coalescing to bring forth your most cherished reality. By nurturing the belief that everything is always working out for you, you engage in a daily act of self-empowerment, a profound declaration that you, in your very essence, are a creator, an architect of destiny. With each breath, each heartbeat, let that knowledge fill you and propel you forward, unfazed by the external shifts that come and go. Maintain this unwavering trust in the process, and let it be the foundation of your every action. The deeper you embed this belief into the core of your being, the more resistant you become to the illusions of scarcity and limitation. Every challenge turns into an opportunity. Every perceived setback becomes a stepping stone, a necessary element in the mosaic of a life crafted by intention and enriched by the certainty of fulfillment. This journey is not defined by the fluctuations of the outer world, but by the resolute commitment to live from a place of inner abundance and joy. Live each day with the profound awareness that you are the master of your own reality, and that the universe, in its infinite wisdom, mirrors back the truth of your inner convictions. Allow yourself the freedom to trust completely in the boundless possibilities that lie before you. In your quiet moments of reflection, revisit the vision of a life where every desire is realized, every dream celebrated, and every moment embraced with unshakable certainty. Let these reflections serve as a continuous reminder that you are already in possession of the life you seek, and that by acting in accordance with that truth, you summon into existence all the blessings that await you. As the rhythm of life ebbs and flows around you, remain steadfast in your conviction that you are the embodiment of a fulfilled vision. In every interaction, in every decision, let that understanding be the silent compass that guides you toward ever greater heights. The art of living as if everything always works out for you is not about denying the challenges that arise. It is about transcending them with the assurance that each obstacle is but an invitation to deepen your connection with that eternal creative force. And in doing so, you unlock the door to a realm where miracles are not rare occurrences, but the very fabric of your everyday existence. Let this profound certainty be the melody to which your life dances, echoing softly through the corridors of time and space. It is in that gentle, persistent tune that the universe reveals its secrets, inviting you to trust in the creative power that flows through you with every beat of your heart. Each moment of doubt is met with an equal measure of resolute faith, each whisper of uncertainty drowned out by the resounding affirmation that indeed everything is always working out for you. Embrace that truth as your constant companion and watch as the tapestry of your life unfolds in ways that exceed even your most vibrant imaginations. And so, as you hold this inner knowing close, let it shape the way you carry yourself. Let your walk become lighter, your gaze steadier, your speech laced with the certainty of one who no longer questions the unfolding of their life. For when you act from the assumption that everything works out for you, you no longer wait for signs, you become the sign. You embody the very outcome you once longed for, and in doing so, you draw to yourself the people, the events, the opportunities that must answer the vibration you emit. Do not underestimate the quiet power of persistence. It is not the grand declarations or the dramatic shifts that shape your reality most, but the daily, almost invisible alignment of thought and feeling. It is in the way you wake up and choose to smile before any reason presents itself. It is in how you greet uncertainty, not with fear, but with welcome, knowing that something wonderful must be unfolding even now, behind the scenes. Persistence is not effort, it is not struggle. It is simply the gentle, repeated return to the assumption of the wish fulfilled. You may find as you deepen in this practice that old fears will rise to the surface. Let them. Do not push them away, do not wrestle with them. Look at them with the eyes of one who knows they no longer hold power. Their presence does not mean your assumption is false, it means your assumption is working. It is displacing the old patterns, the old stories, the inherited beliefs that once ruled your reaction. As they surface, bless them and release them. Each time you do, you make more space for the new state to settle into permanence. Let your imagination become your dwelling place, not a place you visit in fleeting daydreams, but a home in which you live and breathe. Imagine with clarity, imagine with conviction, and most of all, imagine with feeling. Let the imagined scene evoke in you the same emotions you would feel if it were happening now. Let it become so real to you inwardly that you forget, even for a moment, that the outer world has not yet caught up. Because that moment, that sacred moment of pure embodiment, is the moment you impress the subconscious mind. And what is impressed there must take form. You do not need to figure out the details. The how is not your concern. Let that be handled by the deeper intelligence that governs the movement of all things. Your only task is to remain loyal to the end you have chosen. Speak as though it is done. Think from it, not of it. Rest in it. Act as one who already lives in the answered prayer. The power that brings flowers from seed, that spins galaxies in silence, is the same power that shapes your experience. It does not fail, it does not delay. It responds precisely to the image you hold within, especially when that image is felt as real. Begin to notice how your outer world shifts in response to your inner state. It may begin subtly, a stranger's kindness, an unexpected opportunity, a moment of clarity. These are not accidents, they are confirmations. The world is always echoing the contents of your consciousness, and the more you recognize these echoes, the more they multiply. Gratitude becomes your amplifier. Each time you give thanks for what has not yet appeared, you accelerate its arrival. And not because gratitude convinces the universe, but because gratitude aligns you with the reality where the desire is already yours. Live not as one seeking transformation, but as one revealing what was always within. You are not becoming worthy, you are always worthy. You are not earning your desires, you are allowing them. You are not chasing your dreams, you are remembering them. The assumption that everything is working out for you is a return to your natural state. It is the remembrance of your true identity, not a being at the mercy of circumstance, but a creator clothed in form. And when you are tempted to look outside for validation, to ask if it's working, return instead to the only true question: am I dwelling in the state of the wish fulfilled? That is the only measure that matters. If the answer is yes, then all else must follow. It is law, immutable, unquestionable. And if the answer is no, then gently shift. Do not judge. Simply return. Again, each return strengthens the foundation, until eventually the state becomes so natural that it requires no effort at all. This is not pretending, this is not fantasy. This is the most sacred truth there is, that reality is shaped from within. The inner man creates the outer world, and the state you occupy determines the shape of your world. So make it your aim to dwell in joy, to cultivate peace, to exude confidence, not because the world demands it, but because your assumption is your reality. When you dwell in the assumption of success, success becomes inevitable. When you dwell in the assumption of love, love must answer. When you dwell in the assumption that everything always works out for you, then even setbacks become setups, even delays become divine appointments, and what once looked like opposition becomes confirmation. Let this truth permeate everything. Let it color the way you speak, the way you move through your day, the way you treat yourself and others. Do not wait for the external to give you permission to feel good. Be the cause of your own happiness. Initiate the feeling. Let it rise within you, not from circumstance, but from decision. Say to yourself, even when appearances suggest otherwise, this is working for me. This is helping me. This is becoming something beautiful. And as you say it, feel it. Let it settle into your bones. Let it become the new normal. Remember that you are never alone in this work. Though the world may not understand, though even those close to you may question, the law remains true. It does not require approval. It does not depend on popularity. It requires only your agreement. And when you agree inwardly, when you say yes to the vision, yes to the desire, yes to the feeling of fulfillment, the entire universe moves on your behalf. You may not see it instantly, but you will feel it. That subtle shift, that lift in your spirit, that quiet joy that cannot be explained, that is the evidence, that is the movement. And if you persist in that state, the outer must come into harmony with it. Let your inner world become more real to you than the outer. Let your dreams take on weight and substance. Let your vision become the anchor, not the drifting waves of opinion or circumstance. And when you do, something remarkable begins to happen. You start to feel at home within yourself. You start to trust life. You stop clinging and start allowing. And in that space of relaxed confidence, things begin to unfold faster, smoother, better than you could have planned. There is a rhythm to life that you can only access when you are no longer resisting, no longer striving. It is the rhythm of ease, of flow, of divine timing. And you attune to it not by effort, but by alignment. You align by feeling as though it is already done. You align by moving as though the way is already made. You align by speaking with the calm assurance of one who knows that life is not happening to them, but through them and for them. Now, even when the outcome is not yet visible, refuse to doubt. Keep the inner image alive. Tend to it like a sacred flame. Protect it from the winds of negativity, from the icy breath of logic that says you must wait to see before you believe. No, you see because you believe. You experience because you assume. The world is your mirror, and it cannot help but reflect what you hold within. So hold within you only that which you desire to see. Speak only that which you wish to live. Feel only that which aligns with your highest truth. And watch with wonder as the world reshapes itself not by force, but by faith. Not by effort, but by the silent power of assumption. Each day becomes a canvas, each moment a brushstroke. And with every thought, every feeling, you are painting a life of beauty, of abundance, of peace. You do not need to rush, you do not need to strive, you need only be. Be the one who has already received, be the one who has already arrived. And from that being, all doing becomes inspired, effortless, aligned. The people you need will find you, the opportunities will appear, the path will clear, not because you chased, but because you became. You became the version of yourself who has, who knows, who lives from the end. And if ever you forget, if ever you falter, know this, you can always begin again. The moment you shift within, the moment you return to the state of the wish fulfilled, the law responds. It does not hold grudges. It does not penalize delay. It simply reflects, always, faithfully, lovingly. So return as often as needed. And with each return, you strengthen the reality of your desire, until it is no longer a desire, but a fact, a lived experience, unshakable, undeniable, and fully yours. Because everything is always working out for you. It always has been, and it always will. There comes a moment, quiet and often unnoticed, when the assumption takes root, not because you forced it, not because you willed it into existence with strain or struggle, but because you simply grew tired of entertaining anything less. You got still. You breathed. You let go of needing proof. And in that letting go, something deeper awakened. A knowing, a calm, a sense of inevitability. This is the essence of creation, not in panic or in need, but in the still assurance that the seed already contains the tree, that your imagined life already holds the blueprint of its expression. So many look to the outer world to validate the inner, but the truth is reversed. You must validate the inner before the outer responds. You must accept it, wear it, live it within, before it can take shape without. The world is not the initiator, it is the mirror. And a mirror cannot reflect anything other than what stands before it. If you bring doubt, you'll see delay. If you bring fear, you'll meet friction. But if you bring conviction, quiet, steady, unwavering, you'll begin to see alignment, even in the most unexpected places. The evidence of change always begins subtly. A shift in how you carry yourself, a sense of peace even in uncertainty, a deeper breath, a kinder thought, a choice not to react where once you would have. These are not small. These are the tremors of transformation. For the one who changes their state changes their world, even if the world seems unchanged for a time. It is a sacred waiting, not in passivity, but in preparation. A waiting that is not empty, but full, with faith, with clarity, with the pulse of creation already underway. Let that be your discipline. Not striving, not fixing, but returning again and again to the inner state that knows it is done. All that is required now is to dwell in it, to rest in the reality of the end fulfilled. Do you want abundance? Then dwell not in lack, not in comparison, but in the consciousness of plenty. Feel the freedom of overflow, walk in it, speak from it. Do you desire love? Then dwell not in yearning, not in proving, but in the deep stillness of being already cherished, already chosen. Let every cell of your being resonate with the energy of being beloved. The mind will want to interfere. It will whisper its doubts, point to the visible, argue for its limits. Let it speak, but do not let it rule. Let it pass like a cloud across your sky, for you are not the mind. You are the awareness beneath it. And in that awareness, you choose what to entertain, what to energize, what to embody. You are not a servant to thought, you are the master. And every time you choose to remain loyal to your inner vision, despite appearances, you reclaim your authority. Understand this, there is no effort in truth. The seed does not strain to become the tree, the flower does not rush its bloom. All unfolds in rhythm, in harmony, when not resisted. When you live from the end, when you feel it real, you enter that rhythm. The right words come, the right actions rise, the timing reveals itself. And what once seemed impossible becomes the most natural thing in the world, not because you fought for it, but because you aligned with it. You do not have to know how your desire will arrive. You do not need to manage the unfolding. In fact, every attempt to control slows the process. Why? Because control is born of doubt. It is the child of mistrust. True faith has no need to grasp or cling. It simply knows. It leans back into the unseen and smiles. It whispers, I don't know how, but I know it is done. And in that relaxed knowing, life responds with breath. When you act as if everything always works out for you, you are not lying to yourself, you are revealing the deeper truth. The self that doubts, that fears, that scrambles for safety is not the true self. It is a mask, a construct. The true self is still, sure, radiant. The true self is not threatened by appearances because it knows appearances are fleeting. It is rooted in the eternal, the unseen, the source from which all things emerge. And when you live from that place, when you think, speak, and move as that self, you become a beacon. Life begins to organize itself around your certainty. Let your imagination be your sanctuary. Return to it often. Nourish it with attention, with emotion, with repetition. Let the scene of your fulfilled desire play over and over in the theater of your mind until it becomes more familiar than the current facts, until it feels so natural, so inevitable that to doubt it would feel strange. That is how you know the shift has occurred. When believing in your vision becomes easier than doubting it, when the feeling of fulfillment is your baseline, then you are no longer waiting, you are living it. And the world in its perfect obedience must follow. Even when nothing seems to change, something is changing. The roots are growing before the fruit appears. The foundation is setting before the structure rises. Just because you cannot see it does not mean it is not happening. Trust the invisible, trust the process, trust yourself. For you are not here to beg for scraps of joy, you are here to claim the banquet. You are not here to earn your worth, you are here to express it. Every moment you remain faithful to that inner knowing, you are calling forth a life that matches it. Walk into every room as though the room is better because you're in it. Speak with the energy of one who expects good news. Make decisions from the version of you who already has what you desire. And when fear tries to rise, because it will, meet it not with resistance, but with remembrance. Remember who you are. Remember what you've chosen. Remember that fear is not truth. It is a passing shadow, and you are the light. There is no need to prove your worth. Your worth is inherent. You do not need to hustle to be chosen, to be seen, to be valued. You only need to know it within. And from that knowing, everything changes. Opportunities magnetize, relationships deepen, doors open, not because you forced them, but because you stopped contradicting your own power. The world cannot help but respond to your inner self-concept. And self-concept is not built by accident, it is built by intention, by repetition, by choosing again and again the identity that serves you. Who are you? Are you one for whom things just work out? Are you one who is favored, guided, blessed? Then live as that, think as that, breathe as that. Let no external situation talk you out of it. Let no delay define you. Hold to your assumption, and the outer must comply. And the beautiful thing is, you don't need to do it perfectly. You don't need to believe 100% all the time. You only need to persist. You only need to return. The law is not activated by perfection. It is activated by persistence, by the dominant assumption. The more you dwell in the state, the more you occupy it, the more it becomes who you are. And when it becomes who you are, it becomes what you see. You will look back and wonder why you ever doubted. You will laugh at the times you worried, at the moments you panicked, because you'll see that it all worked out exactly as it was meant to. Even the missteps were rerouted into miracles. Even the detours led you home. And you'll realize it was never about controlling the outcome. It was always about becoming the version of yourself who expected the outcome. So wake each day not asking, will it happen, but declaring it is done. Move not from lack, but from abundance, not from need, but from choice. And remember, the moment you assume it's already yours, life begins to organize itself to match that reality. Trust that, rest in that, walk in that. Everything is always working out for you, not because of luck, not because of chance, but because you decided it must. And once decided, once assumed, once felt, the decision becomes destiny. And so, remain steadfast in your knowing. Let this truth settle deep within you. Everything is always working out for you. Not sometimes, not occasionally, always. This is the law that governs your life when you dare to live from the end, when you dare to believe before you see, when you dare to feel before there is evidence. Your assumption is your permission. Your faith is the bridge. Your inner state is the cause. You no longer have to fight for your desires. You no longer have to prove your worth. You are the operant power. You are the one who decides what is true for you. So choose wisely. Choose boldly. Choose lovingly. And walk forward not as one who hopes, but as one who knows. Because it is done. It is yours. It always has been. Now let your life reflect the one truth that changes everything. Everything is always working out for you.